What's up, you guys? Today I'm gonna do a blue makeup look using using Juvia's Place colors and maybe some iconic London colors also. But I want to use Danessa Myricks the Clear foundation and get that glossy clear editorial look. So rock with me today, and I'm gonna tell you a story about when I went to Nigeria for the first time, and I guess the second time too. So hang in with me there. I'm gonna use this on my brows. So the video before this, I told the story about how my visa came the same day and I had to book a last-minute flight to Nigeria. So I guess I was just on one from the jump. Anastasia brow pen. So I flew from New York to Egypt, and I don't recall the flight itself being that bad. But when we got there, for whatever reason, we had to wait so long to get our passports back, and the airline was putting us up because it was an overnight flight. When they finally did, let me tell you, the rooms were so nice, and that was all great. But they were like, okay, if you guys want to see the pyramids and stuff like that, we can go on a tour and we can take you guys, blah blah blah. And I just remember being so tired, but also being like, you don't want to miss out on this. So I went, and it was dope. And you know, it was an overnight flight, so I was with the same group of people all that night. And the next day, went out to a hookah bar. There were belly dancers. It was a good time. This eyebrow looks kind of wonky, but I'm just gonna clean it up. Fenty Beauty. So then, everything was fine and dandy until I remember we were about to land, and the guy next to me was like, do you have your vaccination card? And I'm like, no. And he was like, okay, don't worry about it, I'll handle it. And just go behind me in line or whatever, and so that was all fine. Now, I remember the second time that I went there, I read up on it, and they were like, oh, you don't actually need to get your vaccination card if you don't want to. And I didn't want to. So I still didn't get it, which I did take malaria pill when I got there though. Like every time, as soon as I got there, I think it was like a 2 or 3 pill situation. But anyways, I remember the second time I got there, I knew what was gonna happen. I had it ready in my pocket, and the gate agent was like arguing with me or whatever. And I'm like, no, I don't have to have it. He's like, yes, you do. And then basically he's like, well, what are we gonna do about it? And so we handled that, and I got through. But the first time I went, that other guy handled it, and I'm pretty sure we both handled it the same way. So, and then also I didn't have my phone set up for internet. I'm like, oh, I can just use Wi-Fi when I get there. That was a joke. Everybody knows airport Wi-Fi is garbage, and this airport also did not disappoint. So I got hustled into, this woman hotspotted me, which was really great of her. I hit my friend up, and he got me from the airport, so that was great. I'm using this iconic London palette, Fudgecake. Now the driving there, I just remember, was crazy. So imagine you're on a 3-lane highway, and that's the amount of space you have, is 3 lanes. But instead of 3 lanes, there are 6 lanes. That's how many cars are packed in there, and people are doing whatever they need to make it work to get around. That was one of the reasons I actually wanted to go. I had read a book about Nigeria, Lagos, and the way they talked about it, I thought was so cool. And I'm like, oh, this traffic sounds out of this world. I have to see it. It was out of this world. I don't know how people drive, but y'all doing it. Now I'm gonna go into this Juvia's Place Culture palette, Wasobia. While I was there, I had a great time. You know, my friend's a TV personality, so it was 2018. I got into all of the hottest Afrobeat parties. All of the poppin' artists, the craziest after parties. Insane, it was wild. I'll never forget. I remember everything was going fine until I hadn't had a bowel movement in like 4 days, maybe even 5. I was trying it though. I knew something was coming, but we had planned to go to the beach that day. And I was feeling fine at the moment, so I'm like, yeah, let's go to the beach. I wanna go. We hopped on a boat, rode over to a beach. I met some new people. We were vibing. There was music, there was food, everything's fine. Until it wasn't fine. Theory. Now, this girl's kind enough to see me struggling, and she's like, it's okay. This happens to me all the time. You know what you need to do? Take an Imodium. Had never heard of that before. She was like, but here's the thing though. You're gonna have to go to the bathroom really bad, and then you'll feel better. and then you're gonna have to go one more time, and then you'll be good. And I was like, I don't care, I'm in so much pain, just give it to me. So I take it, and sure enough, I had to run to the bathroom, and let me tell you, it was the most tragic thing ever. Dream. I was in a rough spot. Imagine a beach bathroom in Venice, but like worse though. There's like half a toilet seat. All of them are broken. Most of them haven't flushed. It's basically like a porta potty really at this point. And I'm in so much pain, I'm just squatting because I can't even help it. And the girls come in and they're like, hey, how you doing? So nice. And they checked up on me. One of them gave me her little bathroom kit. She had just a whole set of things to help me out. And it did. I'm gonna blend this out. Not to get too graphic. So everything's fine, go back, we're vibing. And yeah, I had to go again and it was crazy. But anyways, Imodium, y'all, that's really gonna help you out. Let's see, after that, went to some more parties, met some more famous people. I didn't even know these people were famous until I came back home and going to Afrobeat parties and being like, oh. So anyways, the whole point of that story was to tell this story because I met those girls and they were so nice. And so we decided to get our nails done another day. Wicked. My friend had been so nice driving me around. I'm like, it's fine, I'll get an Uber. Like, you don't have to worry about me. He said, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, it's fine. So I call an Uber. Let me tell you, this was an interesting man from jump, but I let it slide. Now, as I said, the driving here is crazy. Blueberry sucker. So we reach a toll road and my Uber driver wants to get through the toll before this other car, I guess. And so they're like going back and forth, speeding with each other, trying to get through the toll, to the point where this other guy hits my Uber driver's window and speeds off. I don't want to say it was his fault, but it definitely could have been avoided. Now, my Uber driver was pissed. He speeds after this guy, you guys. When we get through the toll, I feel like I'm in a high-speed car chase, as much as you can be in that amount of traffic. And so my Uber driver catches up to this guy and he leans out the window and knocks his side mirror off. Because this guy had knocked his side mirror off and he was mad. And then he speeds off and tries to get away. While I'm in the car, this is all happening, I'm still in the car. So my bad, I used my cellar water to get this out from my under eye. And then I washed it with water and now we're ready to go. I'm doing my eyeliner, I wanna go all the way around my waterline. But anyways, so obviously driving like this didn't go unnoticed and my Uber driver got pulled over by the police. And this man hops out the car and starts arguing with him right away. I did not expect it. They draw a crowd, everyone's arguing with each other. No one even knows I'm there. I hop out the car, they're like, oh, you need to call another Uber. Mind you, I don't have any Wi-Fi. So pro tip, ladies, if you're ever traveling and you don't have service or something, your maps will still work. Like, it's not gonna route you, but it'll show you where you're at. So you can like kind of route yourself, you know what I mean? So I start walking and I didn't think I was gonna have to get out the car like that. I was wearing like booty shorts and a crop top. And I definitely looked out of place walking down the street. But let me tell you, it was hot as fuck. I don't think I ever called another Uber there again after that. But you know, I mean, I made it there safely and had a great time. And that was cool, I guess. Oh, then another thing that I want to talk about that was so crazy. Someone told me, basically warned me about this before I went. They're like, where are you staying? Because you know the power goes out all the time. I'm like, what do you mean? Well, honey, he meant the power went out all the time, okay? Apparently this was common, but my friend had a backup generator, so we always had light and AC. But can you imagine if you didn't and the power was going out like 3-4 times a day? That was a tough one to swallow. NARS, yes. I will say though, driving around with my friend, not in Ubers, was so fun. Like, Lagos was so fancy and hip and beautiful. And I remember we went to the mainland and that's where he lived. And I'm pretty sure, did he get a haircut at one point? We went to like a barber shop. And I don't know, just little shit like that, you know, that makes the trip so fun and memorable when you're doing just regular stuff. Don't get me wrong though, we did party. We partied very hard. I don't know, looking back at it, I'm like, girl, how did you do that? I met an Olympic athlete, like a sprinter, a runner. That was so cool. I made so many new girlfriends, people that I still keep in touch with to this day. They're all bossed up. It's so freaking cool. I went to a recording studio and had a session. I was pretty shy and wasn't very good at recording around that time, if I'm being completely honest, but it really broke me out of my comfort zone and was a great way to meet people that I still talk to today. Actors, people that I see on TV when I watch TV now, musicians. I know the second time I went, I did a lot better at the food. I stayed somewhere else with one of my girlfriends, and then I went out to eat at like a fancy hotel. I remember they had really good food with some other girls I had met the year before. And let me tell you, these men are so funny. I remember we were out to eat, these girls and I, at this nice hotel, and this guy, I guess, told the waiter to come over and be like, tell them to order like whatever drinks they want to know beyond me. And right away, the girls are like, no, we're good. And I was like, oh no, this will be fun, let's do this. So I remember at one point I went over there and was talking to this guy, and he was so aggressive right away. He doesn't even want none of my info. He just wants to give me his room number. I'm like, oh, okay, you're so bold. So then I was like, never mind. I just thought it was funny because right away the girls knew what type of time he was on, and they're like, girl, don't do it. But all in all, I had a great time. I partied with celebrities, I made some friends. I went to the beach. I was on the mainland. I didn't just go to the city. Even though I'm Caribbean, I did feel like I learned a lot about myself. You know, a lot of Caribbean people were on slave ships that, you know, crashed into the islands or whatever. So there are African people on the islands too. I'm really excited to try out this Danessa Myricks Clear Color Fix over top of my entire eyeshadow look that I have right now to get that glossy look. This is like the moment of truth right here. I don't know if I should put it on my hand first and then kind of smear it around from there. I'm just gonna drop it on here and then use this brush to get in there. Yeah, I would recommend anyone going, and I would go again. I'd just be like, bring some Imodium, take some before you go, get your stomach right. Yeah, get your vaccination card, or don't, and bring some cash. Oh, and Wi-Fi. Make sure you have Wi-Fi on your phone. Or get yourself a mobile hotspot. I think that's what I ended up doing the second time. Whoops, I kind of let that drip down on my eyeball. So that blue, that light blue kind of came off. I might have to find a better way to apply this, but it's getting the job done of what I want. I was trying for a brighter blue color, but this would work well on dark colors maybe. It's very possible this is an application problem though. Oh, I need to do my lashes. This is gonna be interesting. Always put on mascara first. I did put a little too much of this glaze on, so it's like running a little bit, so be careful not to overdo it. Just finishing up my look with some Eyeliner lashes. I just need to cut them. Let the eyelash glue sit for a little bit. So that's my travel story. Nothing too crazy happened. Now, I've traveled quite a bit actually. I've been to Europe also, the Caribbean of course. I would definitely recommend traveling to Africa, especially if you're Black. We take all these trips to Europe, but Europe ain't got nothing on Africa. Blacking on my product list. This is Anastasia, but I'm gonna put it in down below. I really wanna go to Kenya, go to a safari, but not one of those safaris that like is gonna make me feel bad for going on a safari. I want to go with a local that knows what they're doing or something. Knows where to go where it's not so crowded. I don't feel like I'm invading. Is there such a thing? Okay, I'm finishing up this look. Oh, I need to put some gloss on my lips too. If you could go anywhere in Africa, where do you want to go? Huda Beauty. Well, thanks for listening to me ramble. And I hope you like this Danessa Myricks look. I love the clear glossy editorial. I think it's bomb. It's kind of sticky on the inside. I'm trying to be careful. I'm gonna put some blue on, but what do you think of this final look so far? Okay, what do you guys think of this final look? I'm gonna list all of my products below. Thanks for coming to my tea talks with tea. We're still finding it. Like and subscribe.